Hi, welcome to Family. We've got your back. I'm Michelle Christensen, and this is my husband, Trent. I'm a family scientist, and he is a
Family man.
He is a math teacher.
Yeah.
For middle school students, and so he has an incredible knowledge of teenagers and children, since we have 5. Anyway, I thought I'd quickly first tell you what a family scientist is, because when I tell people I'm a family scientist, they think, oh, family and consumer science. No, that's different. Equally wonderful, but different. So my area of expertise was, I was trained in studying and learning how to read studies of human behavior in a family setting. So it's like psychology only for a group. And so when I talk about studies, it's things I've read and compiled and thought about and written about. And so through scientific means. That's what a family scientist is someone who is a psychologist basically for a family. But I don't have a degree in psychology, so I cannot be a therapist. I can be a consultant though, or I guess because it's not regulated, a life coach. Anybody can call themselves a life coach. But yeah, so I am a family consultant. Anyway, but that is not my current employment. I work in a local store, and I enjoy that quite a bit. And so we do this podcast / episodic posting because we want to help families be stronger. We see families falling apart and relationships deteriorating, and we want to help prevent that. So anyway, so this week we're kind of excited because last week we talked about work, and so what follows work? Recreation. Yay!
Yay. Yeah. Yeah. we like to play.
We do. We love it.
Yeah.
We enjoy our free time together. So the definition of recreation is refreshment of strength and spirits after work. That's the simplest one that we could find that described most accurately what we wanted to talk about. So anyway, today, so most of the time, recreation today is sitting on your device, whether it be a big device like TV or movie screen, or a small device like a tablet or a computer or a even phone. And phone, I would say, is the most used.
Yeah, I would think
People
so.
So after work, you sit down and you spend 4 hours on your phone and like, oh, where did the day go? And you are not enriched. And so we're positing that that's not exactly recreation. That's more like time wasting. That's a time filler. That's a turn your brain off activity. And there is nothing wrong with turn your brain off activities.
Right. It's good to calm down and stuff like that. And so and we need to have some calm time.
Yeah, de-stressing, calm time. Yeah.
It's therapeutic. That's the
word. So both of us do that. We spend time on our phone decompressing.
Yeah.
But recreation is different than decompressing and shutting your brain off. Recreation is necessary for families to build positive, non-work related relationships.
Yeah.
So look at the word. The root of the word is creation. So recreating so that you can have enough in your tank for the next stretch of time or effort or whatever it is.
And that can be a very long time. If you're planning a big vacation or whatever, then you can't expect to have a vacation every 2 weeks.
No. Have we ever really had a real vacation?
Well, I mean,
we went to San Diego and used my sister's timeshare, and she came along. And that was a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
And then we went to California and stayed with my brother. And back way long time ago when Disney did the give a day of service, get a day at Disneyland. We did one day at Disneyland, and I threw up the whole time because I was pregnant with our youngest, just barely. Didn't know I was pregnant, and then when we went there, so I threw up the whole time, and then ended up in the emergency room on the way home. So yeah, that was not our best vacation. But I think right before our son, one of them left for a couple of years, we went down to somewhere warm when it was cold where we lived, and had a couple of days of just fun. And so, our vacations, they're not these epic vacations that people take. We've never, I wouldn't describe that we've ever had a typical vacation like people think about it, because we were going to go on a cruise for our first anniversary because our honeymoon was 2 days and then back to school. So so for our first anniversary we were going to save up and do it. Instead we had a baby. We were in the hospital. Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway,
regardless.
So vacation does not equal recreation either, is what we're trying to get at. So it's something that you do that fills you instead of draining. For example, hiking.
Yeah.
That's great recreation because your body is worked. Mm-hmm. You're out in nature. You're communing with the goodness of the earth Earth has to offer, and
the people with you.
And if you don't go alone, that's even better. Yeah. You're creating relationships with the people. So hiking is a great idea.
Yep.
Study a while ago looked at strong families and what made them strong, the characteristics that they had in common. And the number one thing they had in common was they went camping. And when I heard that, I thought, because I don't like being dirty. I don't like effort. Like, camping is your life, only harder and dirtier, right?
Yeah.
And less sleep, because it's not your bed and you're on the hard whatever. Unless you like bring your mattress and lay it down in the tent, it's not comfortable. And so I don't sleep when I'm camping, and I'm dirty, and it's just a grouchy, unfun time for me. And so I thought, I'm not a fan of this. What? But I want a strong family, so I'm gonna go camping. But think of what camping actually is. It's unplugging. It's being out in nature. It's working together for survival, because you have to somehow figure out how to cook without electricity. You need to and be clean up. Like, it takes, like, the modern conveniences are taken out of the situation, and you are basically stuck together for a period of time.
Yeah, I think one of the big advantages of doing camping is that it's in a different place, right?
True.
And so when you're at home doing the dishes, it's different than doing it in the wild, right?
Yeah.
There's a different energy. There's a positive energy associated with it.
Well, I get. Well,
no, I think
you know what? Doing anything outside, it does create a different energy.
It's a different energy, and so you get to experience the same task, but with a positive light, because you're on a vacation of sorts, right? You're taking a break from the regular mundane, and so it's just like, if you go to a person's house and you help them clean whatever after. It's different. It's
different. It's typically not as drudgery for you, because you are of service to someone else. Yeah, you're being helpful. So, there are aspects to camping that are beneficial. So, if you cannot go camping, figure out a way to be with nature, unplug, forced togetherness, I guess you could say, where you're all working together for a common goal. Because camping isn't feasible for everyone. but the idea and the elements of camping can be achieved in other ways, I think. But yeah, so
yeah, and the other thing,
we camp, but we also do other things outside.
Yeah.
We unplug. We are together. We're forced togetherness because a quantity of time often creates a quality of time, and you cannot schedule quality time. You can schedule time together, but you can't schedule a quality time.
which is important too, because the big thing that if you're dealing with little kids, there's probably going to be some kind of pushback with anything or teenagers, really. Yes. Even, right? It's like you're going to receive some pushback, and so I don't want to say you want to lower your expectations, but you kind of do.
Yes.
You have to go in with it, recognizing that we're all still people. We all have our different preferences, but we're going to do this together.
Yes.
And when you do things together, then it brings the family together, whether you like it or not or whatever.
Yeah, and so often today you're in the same room, but you're not together. You're not present. Yep. And so be present, be active in your attention to one another. Mm-hmm. Like we were saying earlier about the equality of, no, what was it? The emptiness of the things that we often do to spend time, the recreation part of your life, because like we're tired, and so recreation often takes time, and it doesn't have to be camping or physical in any way. It can be reading, where it's an uplifting thing that's thought-provoking, that gives you something other than just spending time. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like wasting time versus using your time.
Yeah. Well, I still remember back when we were dating, and we would just
Uh-oh.
No, like we were.
What are you talking
we were
about?
just at the university, and you were studying.
We were studying. In the same room studying.
Same in the room.
And yet we remember those times fondly because we were together.
Yep.
My mother has a favorite picture of her sister and her to-be husband. He is a reporter, and he was covering the game, and she was doing her homework at the game, but they were together. And it's a beautiful picture of her doing her schoolwork, and him working, but because they were side by side together, it was a memory that they share. And I mean, that it's a stunning picture, and it's very thought-provoking, and it makes you think about what's actually important. And so anyway, expectations. That's it just came to me. Expectations is what we were thinking, because anticipation is part of the fun in planning something fun to do in recreation, the expectation and the joy you get from expectation. But once the activity actually begins, if you hold on to those expectations and think, it's ruined,
it has to go just like this.
Yes, the activity's ruined, or this vacation is ruined because it didn't go the way you wanted it to. If you
or expected.
Yeah. So if you hold on to the preconceived notions, then you will most often be disappointed. So once the activity actually happens, have an open mind and let whatever happens. Like, you can plan every detail so that it can be perfect for you, and it's not going to go that way.
Yep.
And so you can either be disappointed, or you can have an open mind and not lower your expectations, but just not put as much importance and emphasis on it has to go my way.
Yeah, the point is that you're doing something together and building a memory.
Yeah, and great things happen. And if you are so hung up on your expectations and your anticipatory thoughts that you miss what's actually happening, then that ruins the experience.
I didn't get to go on that ride.
Yeah.
But you did get to see your brother or your sister smile, right?
Right. So find the positive, create the memory, and try to, like when we went to Knott's Berry Farm, I spent the whole day except for just couple rides. Like I went on just a few rides, and the rides I did go on, I only went on 3 different rides, but I went on one of them several times because the group of people I was with kept changing, and they're like, oh, I want to go on this one. And so I was on that ride like 3 times over and over again because the people, and I'm like, ugh. And it was the longest line in the park. And I was like, okay. So I've spent the whole time in either getting food for people or rewriting a ride that's, but yeah, that's a fond memory for me because of the way I chose to think about it and remember it, and the people I was with, and the things that were said, and the activities that we were just together creating wonderful memories. And so don't let your preconceived notions of of the anticipatory excitement cloud what actually happens, so that you have a wonderful moment. And so recreation is so important in recharging your physical and your mind, physical, spiritual, and mental aspects of your life, like recharging, recreating. And so don't use all of your downtime in wasting time. So this week the challenge is, do you know?
I imagine it's to play together.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. No, it's do...
What do you mean, no?
I mean, well, yeah, but it's more specific than that. It's put down your electronics and do something in a creative way. And no, I'm not saying like craft or anything like that, but do something that... It could be a craft. But do something that builds you, that recreates you, that gives you something so that it's not just, I spent this time doing nothing. Or, well, not nothing, but like at the end of it, you have nothing beneficial from it. Right?
Yeah.
So read a book, go for a walk, a hike, play sports, do something together that builds you in some way, and see the difference it makes in your life. So anyway, have anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Okay, I think that's a good challenge too. Thanks. Because that's not what you actually meant, but anyway. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, family, we've got your back at gmail.com. Thanks. Bye-bye.